All right, Hero Comics here. Next episode of Hero Comics: Transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube, DeviantArt, the responsive comments, or comments, the responsive comments I made against these deviant lifestyles, and a few other things. Trigger warning: if you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead, click off the video. Do not like to say there's hate speech in my videos because there is a hate speech in my videos. It's feature hate. That's a different story. Let's continue on with people getting these wrong in these comment sections and me trying to straighten them out with my versions of basic biology, and then getting to talk about that. Also, it is very hot up here today. Yeah, 74 degrees outside. So it's even hotter. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Even hotter up here because this is the second floor. Some people saying that I'm in my basement. I'm not in my basement. No. My basement has issues because it's um, it works just fine as a laundry room, and then there's an extra bath. There's actually our second bathroom is in our basement. We have a toilet in there that functions just fine. In that basement. But yeah, yeah. First, our main bathroom is actually on the other side of my wall here. On the second floor. But yeah. Um, and we're all here, and we got to work on some stuff on that one. But yeah, that's how it goes. The house is a fixer-upper, but still, it's our house. It's gonna be our house. We're paying for it, right? We're buying it right now. So anyway, but yeah, on the second floor it is very high, nice and hot. I have an air conditioner. The problem is, it's one of those indoor air conditioners with the tube, like the tube coming out of it, and that tube is all damaged and destroyed and whatnot. So yeah, that's the issue there. I'll have to get a new air conditioner or something. We'll have to figure that out. But whatever the case is, I do have a fan. I made it really quick and easy with using cardboard, folded cardboard, and some electrical tape or duct tape. This is duct tape, black duct tape, and just that's what I'm using right now. So let's continue on with our stuff. Where are we? Oh yeah. So we're gonna need to. There's some overlap in here. There's some overlap, but it's important to use to show off to read it so that we can don't miss anything. All right, people are hating on the Bible in this one. Let's go. So I say because it's not the best for people to do, just like eating unclean animals and sin. Oh my God, I got a like for that. So it's here goes. The Bible ain't science; it's fantasy because the lies I was told. Ignore the fact that science is the study of the natural world. The people in the Bible studied the natural world. Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Deliver yourself as a gazelle from the hand of the hunter. All kinds of stuff. So many different things out there. People are looking. People are checking out all kinds of stuff. The rock hyrax, though feeble, makes its hyrax, though feeble, makes its home in the rocks, So it's like, it might be a small creature like a gopher, but it is strong. It has, it basically has the it's smart enough to be like, if I hang out and dig a hole inside between rocks, then I'll have more protection than if I just out in the open. So there's all kinds of lessons you can learn from nature, and from nature, and the Bible shows off some lessons. So I'm sorry, that's how it goes. It is not fantasy; it is reality. There are things that seem fantastical, yes, but there's definitely issues, things you gotta watch out for. There definitely is stuff going on that is beyond physical out there. So good to learn from the Bible because it talks about how awesome God is. Let's continue on here. Then so it says, just as poorly constructed as modern, amateur, collective, collaborative works, like several ARGs, most of this is SCP lore, according to Liza was told. And then so it's here, God, no one cares about D&D lore, bro. This is not D&D lore. It's the Bible. Different story. And someone says, here, God, defending slavery isn't normal, but on Christianity, it is. Christianity, not even once. So like, into the fire and flames. So like, no, you don't want to go to the fire and flames. No. I know what slavery is. It was called, in the Bible, not Civil War slavery. So I'm sorry. According to the Bible, if a slave wanted to leave his master, he could. And the master, they could. And if they wanted to stay for the rest of their lives, they get their ear lobe stabbed through the doorpost with an awl or something like that. No, that doesn't happen in Civil War slavery. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on there, and I'm just like, what's going on there? And I'm just like, this is not the same type of slavery. It's something different. Because they ain't the same thing. So no, that doesn't work. Next. So you make your clothes by hand because they're trying to find anything they can to try and justify their lifestyle. So they're like, well, you're going by the Bible, so you make your clothes by hand? Like, no. So they go, why do you trust a 2,000-year-old book that was written along with a dozen similar books? Because there's great knowledge in it. And so there goes Ephesians 6-5. Paul states, servants, be obedient to your human masters with fear and trembling, the sincerity of heart. So as to Christ, which Paul instructed slaveries to obey. You don't read more. Someone says clothes, combining fabrics and clothes. Relevant biblical verses, Leviticus 19:19 and Deuteronomy 22:11 prohibit wearing wool and linen fabrics in one garment because that stuff is not the best idea. The blending of different species of animals, that's true, very nasty stuff. You don't do that. The blending together of different kinds of seeds, collected known as callium or something like that. Yeah, because they're, and I like when people actually come out with facts, use the Bible, come out with facts on this because it's important to see that, and it's true, the Bible forbids certain things because it's like, the law of Moses forbids certain things because it's not the best stuff, It's just like, they'll put the two things together like that. Certain things, you'll see there are certain vegetables and fruits that you should not put together in your refrigerator because they'll mess each other up. It'll actually cause them to rot faster. It's not good. That's just how things are. You don't want to keep those things separated. Or mess up the taste of them. You gotta watch out for that. That's how it goes. So no, it is correct. And so it's what does a time slavery happen? It have to do with the rest of slavery throughout history. Depending on what kind it is. And then so here goes. And I say, that's me. I say, it's not just the time it happened. The rules are different. You could be a slave for a day and then leave the master and be a slave for someone else. Not the same thing. Civil War slavery. I got a like for that. So then I say, also, the Bible has the words of God in it, and it's relevant to today. Those other books are not. And so it says, here goes, please find out your religion is the only correct one. And someone says, if it was every time, then you wouldn't do that now. Why would you do things in the same book? Because it's the same stuff. It's different stuff. Because values truth above everything else. God is against lying, I say. God, the lowercase g, lies about not killing someone will make him bad in God's eyes. Not killing someone will make him bad in God's eyes. And so it says, here goes, so hundreds of other religions, dozens of which came before Christianity. He didn't lie. I say he didn't lie. People did. So here goes, please explain how you're manipulating someone to being willing to murder is good. Unless you're saying the Bible is wrong. So the way the Bible is false, I say, actually only one like Christianity, and that is Judaism. And Christianity came from Judaism. I say, was this takeover of the Canaan and God killing the tribes of Israel to wipe out the sinful people of those places? That was not murder. It was punishment for the killings they did. You have no power over the lives of others. No, I don't. I can say I don't agree with what you're doing. You can do it and keep doing it if you want, but at least I can say so. It's called free speech. Free speech. So yeah, different story. Let's continue on here. Go. Nope. The killings they did. That's what it says. If it's not a sin, because I say it's not a sin, ignore the fact that it's a sin. And you are hating the person by saying it's a sin. No. Let's go. Then verse it says, here goes. The Bible actually it's trans-positive. No, it's not. But the Lord sees not as man sees. What's that now? Little time. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. But that's not trans. That's anti-trans. Because the trans experience is hide what you are with a facade. So it doesn't work. That crap don't work. And this was, you have no idea what's best for others, because I say you don't. Ignore the fact that you're saying lying is wrong, which is best for others. You aren't a professional of any kind. That I like. Yeah, this was the Bible was written by men, yes, but men who were following God's ways. Religious value, law, your religious value is subjugation over truth. We're in the lies. I was told. Why do you continue to lie through lies? Telling the truth? Good